Hello. Okay, so what we're going to do now is kind of build on some of the techniques we did for 1B and kind of have a little more control over what we're doing. Okay, so we have our image here, and we're going to mess around with these colors and have our eye look at different parts of the image. So let's see. The first thing I want to do is just clean up our space here. I'm going to Essentials and then Reset Essentials. If your panels are set to thumbnail size none, you're going to want to change it to this medium so we can see what we're doing because we're going to be using masks and stuff. Okay, so once again, we're going to do Hue Saturation, and we can adjust each of these things like we did before. But like I said, we can go a little further. So the first thing we can do is go into the individual components of the color. And how this works is in each part of the spectrum, there's a little preset. And if you look under here, there's a little bracket which shows you the hues that are going to get altered. And then another bracket which fades out the range, so it's not harsh. And for this, maybe let's take out everything but blue, let's say. So I'm going to keep the cyans and the blues, and I'm going to pull out the other colors. So I'm going to take out the reds, take out the yellows, take out the greens, and the magentas, and keep the blues. Blues and cyans. Okay, so what if I wanted to get this green out of here? So what I can do is by adjusting these sliders, I can make this actually, you know what? Let's go into the yellows. Let's go into the greens, right? And let's make the range that we select a little bigger so that we're getting the greens out. See, as I pull this out, I'm pulling a different part of the spectrum. So now I just have the blue component of the image, which was kind of receding before. Now I can go back to the top here. I can boost it up a little bit, make it a little more punchy. I can also make the blue any color I want, right? So I can make it like red or purpley or maybe green, turn all the blues to green or yellow. And I'm totally changing the image around. So let's say we make it something pretty intense, like that. You know what, maybe pink. Pinky purple. Okay, so let's say I like it in some parts of the image, like maybe this bit over here, but I don't like what's happening in the other spots. So now what I can do is make another adjustment layer. And if you look over here, there's the effect, and then there's this white patch. What this white patch is the mask. And how it works is it multiplies the effect by the value, the pixel values in the mask. So white equals 1. If you multiply something by 1, you get that number, you get that effect. And black is 0. If you multiply something by 0, you get nothing. And then gray is everything in between. So now what I can do is I can say, okay, Command I. Well, first let's do something so we can see it. Let's say I'm going to take all the saturation out. So now it's just black and white. Take all the saturation out. So let's say it's black and white. And then what I can do is I can invert this. So now it's black, so nothing's happening. And then by painting in white, I can paint out the parts of the image I don't want the saturation on. So for example, this like little hazy bit over here, I can just hit white and I can paint that out. And now you'll see over here, that's what's happening in the image. So how did I do that? So I go to my paintbrush, and there's kind of two ways to adjust it. I can either use the bracket key forward and back, or the better way, I think, is to hit Option and Control and then drag. Then you can adjust the size and the softness all at once. So I'm just doing this here. You know, and I can always zoom in, be a little more precise. If I'm doing a straight line, I can click once, hit Shift, and it'll connect the two together. So that's good if you're drawing straight lines. Yeah, and now I've like totally changed, you know, what we're looking at in the image. But the more important thing is this idea of like controlling where the effect happens with a mask.